Hello, I'm Darlene of the Rainbow Frequency, and today we're going to see what happens. I would love to interact with you all. If you would like an individual card pulled for you, anything, you could just ask me a question and we can chat. I'd like to have some interactive play with you all, but if it isn't in the cards, then I will do a card reading. We could do a little mini meditation if you want. Anything. If you want me to read you personally, I can do that. So yeah, what you want, what you really, really want. So thank you for joining me. Kendra Dick, thank you. Irfansha 0219, thank you. And those of you who will join in the near future, thank you. I'm not going to say hi to you all individually, but yay, let's play. Kendra, you want a card? You want me to pull from, I also have my bone casting bag as well. So yeah, let's talk. It is April 1st if you watch this today. Very excited about this shift of energy. In the northern hemisphere, it's spring. In the southern, it's fall. Personally, both of those seasons to me are just sparked full of change and exciting possibilities. So hip hip hurrah. Who's not ready for some positive change? Kendra Dick, would you like me to surprise you? Would you like a tarot card? Would you like an oracle card? Tell me. I'm going to work on being slower. I'm going to take a sip of the coffee that I just held. Tarot. That's what I thought. We're going to go with the Crow Tarot. Alrighty. What does Kendra need to know right now to best serve their highest good in a way that delights them? Mind, body, spirit, in entirety. I love it. Oh, the Emperor. You have been working a hard slog. I don't know if that translates, like a hard path of working on building yourself back up. You can see this bird figure. See those ring of feathers around their neck? That's the different feathers in your cap, so to speak. Accomplishments, things that you've put behind you, perhaps. It's through the challenges that we grow, that we really get to know ourselves, who's really there for us, who isn't. You see, hold on, let me look at it. Okay, so you see this emperor, which emperors, to me, it's that action-oriented, building your empire, building up your kingdom, your ecosystem that will best support you and that which you create. The Empress is more that nurturing it, so that it fosters that growth through intuitive care. But the Emperor is that action oriented. That's where you see the ram, and you know, Ram's Aries is again that action oriented, new beginnings, moving up that mountain, perseverance. You know, the sword is that mental balance, so maintaining that mental stability, which, you know, we as humans really want things to be static, but it's not. It's an ebb and flow. It's an equilibrium. So that's where you see, you know, this scale, so to speak, where this being is balanced, you know, going with it. You know, you see the rocky crags behind the bird, you know, that which they've overcome, you know. So anyway, love it, love it, love it. 6 is also right after 5. So after the hardships, then you bring the love into the situation, you know. So yay. So keep going. I'm very proud of you. Whether, I hope that translates well, because I'm not trying to be condescending, but like anyone who doesn't give up and keeps going, being human is hard, you know? Anywho, thank you, Kendra. So anyone else? I love this. Let's keep it going. Hiking photography life. I can read. Anyone want a card, a bone casting? Or I can just read you. I don't need a tool. The tools are fun though. It's a nice visual, and we like visuals. So yes, and I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll take a moment. For those of you who are in Richmond, Virginia, I have an event tonight at Blue Bones Vintage from 4 to 8. I will be doing card readings for $20 for 15 minutes of time. Super fun. The place is awesome if you haven't checked it out already. Anywho, from 4 to 8, come on down. I'm booked in the beginning of the event because there is a sign-up sheet online. If you see my stories, you'll see about the event. You can sign up, or first come, first serve. So that's the end of that blurb. Anyway, so yes, anyone else want me to do a personal one-card reading, or I'll just segue into chatting about where we are currently as a collective? Although it's funny, I'm drinking more coffee to be slower. And then, oh, sorry, YouTube. Christina R., what would you like? Would you like a tarot card reading, an oracle card reading, a bone casting? Tell me, Christina R. A card. Two screens. This always makes me feel oracle. I thought so, but I don't like to jump the gun. Who shall it be now? Who shall it be now? I'm going for this. All right, we're gonna go to the oracle, the mystical shaman oracle. Slow it down. Show the box. Yeah. For those of you who are comic book fans, I'm a huge Batman girl. You know, since the Tim Burton movies from my childhood, through Batman the Animated Series, through several of the comic books as well. And there's a Batgirl who becomes known as the Oracle, and she has several screens, kind of like Batman in the early days. So when I have my two screens going, that's what I feel like. Oh, Oh, Christina R. Love it. The spiral. I'll show you Instagram as well. This is an ammonite, so bringing this energy in to amplify the healing energy of the spiral. Nature often has representatives of the various energies that are available to support us. The spiral is a healing symbol. It's protective, symbolic of the labyrinth. Let me close out that YouTube thingy. They say with the labyrinth symbol that we have to go in and out 7 times to get there. That's a shortened way of saying that. So yeah, healing isn't linear. Life, like I just said, it isn't static. There's an ebb and a flow. It's very biorhythmic. So sometimes in the healing journey, it doesn't feel like it's happening for you, but it is. And it's that going within and really connecting with your heart and soul, breathing. This also, I channel as I go. So this is making me think of fiddlehead ferns. So that might be something for you to look into, Christina R. I always look up the symbolism of what comes through because it gives you a full-bodied perspective of whatever it is, from spiritual, folkloric. Oh, you did! Oh, you saw them today. I'm sorry. I get so excited. Yay! Oh, I love how this works because things come in and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. And then the person is like, yes! I'm like, yes! Anyway, fiddlehead ferns are delicious. They are carcinogenic, so eat them sparingly. You don't want to overdo it. But certain things that are carcinogenic, if you do it properly with the right amount of, if you know what you're doing and how to handle things, they aren't necessarily bad for you. Foxgloves, for example, are used, they're poisonous, but at the same time, they're used for heart medicine just off the cuff. Anyway, fiddlehead ferns are really kind of telling me for you, breathing. This makes me think of that unfurling. There are different breath counts that help you with different things. A friend of mine, I was super stressed out because even though, I'm psychic, I'm an energy worker, life throws me curveballs and I have to deal with them and fight the urge to get all tense and stressed. So it's just that, take that time to focus on your breath, to not fall into the trap of fear that kind of sends you careening off into a different direction. You know what I mean? I'm getting also the image of a rabbit. Like rabbits, even though they are the prey animal, they don't go wildly dashing off anytime something freaks them out, right? They sit, they listen, they smell, they really take the time to intuitively feel through whether or not it's a real threat and they need to move. So yeah, take that. Nature bathing, take that time to breathe in the woods. I'm really glad that you saw them today, because unless you saw them at the grocery store, which is very exciting and unusual to me, you were in the woods. So hip, hip, hurrah, more of that. I'm just here to echo back or reinforce what you're feeling, or sometimes you're feeling it but you won't accept it because of that self-doubt. So that's what personally readers, anyone of my ilk, that's what we're here for. You know, I'm not here to tell you everything about yourself and I'm the most amazing being. Like, we all have the ability to be conduits, to be mediums. It's just a matter of tuning in. I love the definition that psychic abilities are just people tuning into more of the spectrum than perhaps others around them. Anyway, there you go. Christina R., thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. Ammonite, fossil, just for a little extra love. All right. Next. Okie dokie, artichoke. Step on up. The water's warm. I will do a card for the collective. You are welcome, both Kendra and Christina R. It was my pleasure. So in the meantime, while we wait to see if anyone else wants to be froggy and jump in, Emily Dickinson, I'm rubbish at showing you. Emily Dickinson, I love her. Talk about someone who spends some time nature bathing. You know, it's one of those things. I absolutely love Emily Dickinson. Would love to live in the woods. Totally could easily slip into that mode, but I have to keep myself from going into complete hermit mode sometimes because interaction is also a way that we grow. All right. We got the only news I know is bulletin all day from immortality. Huh. All right. What I love about Emily Dickinson and these cards is that it gives you a lot to chew on. And sometimes I'm like, All right. So the only news I know is bulletin all day from immortality. Wow. So many directions one could take this. You know, okay, we'll take this, and I hope this doesn't ruffle people's feathers. I try really hard, and this goes back to what I was just saying, it's interesting, to straddle the fence of being aware of the world around me, but also not getting consumed by the media and some of what they try to feed you. I worked my career as a hairstylist for 20 some odd years. And there are aspects I absolutely love about being behind the chair. I absolutely do. And I have clients that I've met in that realm that are dear, dear friends, and you become a part of their family. I absolutely love it. But there are also aspects of the beauty industry that I didn't like, you know, especially when it comes to aging. I'm not one to get caught up in trends, so I don't necessarily want to be pushed to be on top of all the trends because I want to work with individuals and their hair, if we're talking about hair, as it best suits them, because everyone's head of hair is different. I would always say, before I really fully accepted what it was I was doing beyond hair behind the chair, I would just say, and it makes me laugh now, but I just intuited what the hair wanted to do and I worked with it. And I wasn't formally trained in a systematic way like some stylists. I was just thrown to the wolves, and my grandmother was a hairstylist, so I was very comfortable in the environment and I just did it and I was good at it. So it just happened. And then I realized later I was intuiting the hair. I could feel my way through it. If I just didn't think about it and I just felt my way through it, it worked really well. Same with color formulas. If I didn't overly think it and I just went with what I felt led to do, it worked really beautifully. Now, all that hemming and hawing of hairdressing talking is to say that, be in the world, not of it. Be aware of the environment, but also don't get waylaid or stirred up unnecessarily. Really sit like the rabbit and process whether or not it is something that you need to get ratcheted up about or not. Because the media, the news is very sensationalized. It is something where it's become very much focused on not aging, not ebbing and flowing. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, and that's a whole other conversation, right? Anyway, I love seeing some of the people out there who are keeping it very natural, very real, and showing the beauty of all aspects of life. That's what we'll stay focused on, because in this channel, I try very hard to be a welcoming, supportive, safe haven for people to come together in a healing capacity. We're all different, and that's beautiful. So yeah, don't get consumed by the media. Be aware, but see through the hype, I suppose. Anyway, thank you all again for the people joining. If you would like me to read you a card personally or a bone casting bag item, I will do it gladly. I love the interaction. This is a pink abalone shell. Some healing energy, should you choose to accept it. And again, if you choose to accept the healing energy, I'm going to draw a symbol of love. Rose energy. Gentle healing from the inside out. And then we'll sweep away any undue stress, burdens, anything you're carrying off your shoulders, off of you completely that isn't yours to carry in your highest good. From the crown on down. Release what isn't yours, what isn't in your highest good. And then breathe in love. And highest good energy. If you want to, one hand on your heart, one hand on your solar plexus. I think of this as sort of like a thunder jacket, or like that if you like the feeling of those the lead blankets that they put on you at the dentist, it's very comforting, it's very soothing. It like sinks you down in a good way. So that's, to me, like, or when you swaddle a baby, it has that sort of feeling. And again, this is where you could do your breathing. Like we'll follow what Casey taught me for myself. 4 breaths in, count to 7, holding your breath in, and then exhale for 8. Inhale 4, hold it 7, exhale 8. Do it one more time. Exhale 8. Feels good, right? Who did it? Tell me you enjoyed that. All right, so bossy I am today. All right, I'm gonna draw another card because I would love to have more interaction. Hello, Dark Yet Sunny Studio and Bagala Crystal Wholesaler. Hello. Play with us. Don't be shy. If you don't want me to say your name, I won't say it with whom I'm speaking. Oh, all right. We got the water dragon. Off the cuff, we'll say good morning. Hello, Dark Yet Sunny Studio. Off the cuff, we'll say that this is about working with your emotions, working with your intuition. Don't fight it. We get all bound up in knots sometimes because we won't listen to ourselves, to the inner guidance, the inner knowing. It's about transformation. Again, the ebb and flow. But let's read from the book. Oh, I have so much going on over here. I have more cards over here because I want people to want to play. All right. Water dragon. All right. Sorry, I didn't do it again. The Druid Animal Oracle deck. Oh, and I just dropped my page. All right. Water dragon. Forgive my pronunciation. Drag Ushu. Keywords: passion, depth, connection. The meaning. The water dragon brings that which is hidden into the light of day. Memories and wishes, which may have long been forgotten or repressed in the unconscious, may emerge to frighten or overwhelm you with their apparent negativity, or destructiveness. Facing these experiences with compassion and courage will, in the end, bring you to an experience of greater depth of soul and greater sense of connectedness to all life. Although you may at times feel overwhelmed with emotion, with time, you'll be able to achieve a sense of balance and stability as these strong feelings are integrated into your consciousness. Love it. Love it. So again, back to Emily Dickinson, don't get consumed by the fear. Just be a witness and try to see to the root of it if you can, Give love to yourself. Give love to the situation. Like a lot of times, these things are either from past life trauma, perhaps, or childhood wounds that we don't even realize that we're still gripping so tightly, and it affects us in our day-to-day adult lives or wherever we are on the journey. And if we, instead of reacting, we took that moment to breathe through it and really, it's hard in life, but try to see the lesson and let go of the rest as best as one can in a responsible way, right? Like, I'm not saying like just glibly like shirk things that are yours as well, Anyway, anyone who wants a card, I'll keep rambling on until I have to jump off because I have to go to work. But I'm here for you. All right, so now as I wait, we're going to use the Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel's Starseed Oracle. And if you like April Fools, a happy April Fool's Day. My dad used to always tell me that it had snowed when he woke me up. And I'd get all excited and then be like, ah. Anyway, but it makes me laugh now. All right, we got Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Oh, that's so funny. I just said that. That's so, I love my job. Oh, yeah. Because it is. I mean, being human, we came here to learn, right? And learning can be an easy and fun process. It can. But a lot of times we as humans, we like to learn the harder way. I also no, we're here at a time when we're healing a lot of ancestral trauma. We're healing a lot of the ley lines or the song lines of the earth. One of my favorite things to talk about, panminimism, that not only us humans, but objects, the land, hold memory through experience. Some people even go as far as to think that everything has a soul. I personally am more of that camp than not, although it is a stretch really to conceptualize. But I will say, as someone who does read objects and connect with the land to heal it, yeah, certain things don't have that soulfulness or depth of energy to connect with. Like, we'll say plastic objects made in a factory setting. We're not speaking of like a machinist that is lovingly creating something with care and craft. No, because from what I've gleaned in this subject matter, when you put that love, when you put those natural elements together, it does create a beautiful, soulful object. Whereas, a plastic factory made like wastebasket, no. Do I get lots of information from that? No, it does feel very empty unless there's garbage in it. But anyway, what I'm saying though is that we're here at a time where we're healing ourselves, we're healing our family lines, we're healing the earth. I really do believe in the oneness. Again, a huge thing to conceptualize, but I very passionately do feel that importance of like working to heal when I studied energy work and I got to the point where I was getting more interactive with people. I started really with my house before I really started working on the trauma work with people, because I wanted, I guess it felt safer in some ways than just, like my teacher explained it, that it was an exorcism, which is one way of articulating that. It's very, for a lot of people, a scary word, exorcism, but you're clearing trauma. And I then put that to use with my house because I knew that my house had experienced some trauma and had some things that needed help to be released. So then I really worked with my house. Then I started working with the land. And while I had one teacher tell me that the earth was more ancient than I was and that it didn't need my help, I understand that. I do. I get that logic. But at the same time, I personally feel very, very much connected to the earth in a loving, symbiotic sort of way. And so, with intention, I put love and healing energy into myself, as well as the earth, the oceans, the air, the fire within the earth and the sun, the cosmos, like I try to be a beneficial element to myself and the everything, because to me, that's that radical shift in consciousness that we're working on. Love, peace, very much a hippie here. But anyway, see, we're seeding. You can see this being in this like little seed. We're seeding new growth. We're seeding an expanded consciousness that hopefully goes from that. Well, not hopefully, if you're into astrology, which has, if you follow my channel, we all know that I am, because it is the most beautiful way to, in an anthropologic way, study the evolution that we've been going through. And we're going from the Piscean age, which is all about survival, to the Aquarian age, which is about reciprocity. Balance, balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine that we all have within us. Personally, I think moving from having to have very defined labels and narrow identities, to where we realize how expansive we are, you know? Tap into that heart and soul. This is just a physical vessel that we're temporarily inhabiting. We're so much more than this shell. So personally, like, I don't like having to define myself very simply. No, I'm an and then some. I am multifaceted, multidimensional. I'm a whole kit and caboodle of fantasticness. Aren't you? Damn straight you are. Anyway, high flight risk. Um, oh, Flight Risk says Aquarius is about the law of equivalent exchange, both inwardly and out. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you for talking to me. Flight Risk. What do you want me to do for you today? Would you like a card reading? What would you like? I want to interact with you. Flight Risk and I, we go way back on YouTube. One of my favoriteest. I love it. Yay! You should follow Flight Risk. Super fun, lovely, lovely, lovely. Anyway, so hello, all of you who have joined. I'm happy to read a card for you. Please tell me, bone casting bag, what would you like? I love anything you feel drawn to do. Okay. Oh, all right. I want to do the bone casting bag for you. For those of you who are new to me, and if you are enjoying yourself, please follow me, like, share, all that jazz. It really does help. I'm a small business of one. I'm sorry, the light is terrible. These are a bunch of objects that I've collected. There are some bones and teeth, and they have meanings to me. But again, I also channel in each individual scenario. Woo. All right. And in this, I do like to have 3. So Flight Risk, you're the winner. You get 3 instead of just 1. All right. And it's going to be completely terrible lighting because it is a gray day outside. All right. So we got a teeny clamshell, a possum tooth, and this mysterious button. Oh, thank you. For once, the glare is helpful. Now, you can't even, if you were to be able to clearly see this, you couldn't. Well, maybe you could. I'm not going to limit your brain capacity, but it doesn't look like really anything discernible. I find it to be this interesting button that speaks of hieroglyphs or pictographs, which is very individualized for the person. So that's where I like the fact that it's not really discernible, because it could shapeshift for each person to what they want, or not want, but what is right for them. So all together, oh, I love this message. Okay, so all together, clamshell, this tooth that's really good for grinding. Ooh, tossing the teeth. You've gone within to really work on formulating yourself, cultivating that growth. You know, you've been processing information, integrating, you know, the past the present, the future, your ancestral information, the information from this current lifetime. And, I love the fact that if you want to go all quantum physics with me, your future generations are helping guide you in the current time. So again, time isn't linear. I love it. I love it. And I know you've been going through some hard times. So many people out there. I mean, granted, it's part of my job. So people come to me in their hard times, but just about everyone I know out there is facing some sort of change, some sort of painful experience, something that is rocking their world, but in a way that's going to get them to where they really need to go, perhaps. I mean, it's about perspective, like you could get caught up in that grief and despair very easily. And there is a time and place. You can't just, it is what it is, and keep trucking and act like nothing happened to you. You have to process it. You have to. For example, in my own life, right before the pandemic, I opened a hair salon. I was all excited to have a room to do this sort of work out of, as well as continuing to do hair. And then life went sideways. I went home and realized in all of it that I couldn't teach my son homeschooling wise, be at work full time. I couldn't do it all. So then I started working from home. Didn't necessarily imagine myself working online with people. I'm a hands-on kind of gal, as a hairstylist, but I started meeting people online all over the world, which was amazing. My father in 2020 transitioned. I was luckily able to go into the nursing home and help him in that process. It was hard, but it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. But in that journey, oh God, I mean, even though I became closer with my father after he transitioned, he's one of my guides. It's the most beautiful experience of connectivity, of like in his passing, I had my hands on his chest and I knew in that moment, download, he could be infinite places at once. Oh my God. Amazing. So comforting. But it still rocked me like nothing else. I had to grieve. I also was grieving the death of the business I had started in many ways, because I wasn't physically where I thought I was going to be and had invested so much of myself, So it was just this interesting redirection that really led to being much better for me and my family. But in that, like, I stopped wearing makeup. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it was an experiment. I put on makeup today. Actually, I started yesterday. And I'm not, again, going back, like, I'm not here to say, like, you have to wear makeup to look good and feel good, because it was a hard thing for me to buy makeup again after 3 years of not wearing it. It was part of my, like, grieving and rebelling against leaving a hair salon world. It was weird. But as I've gotten through the journey of grieving and resurrecting and wanting to come back out more so into the world, I got a part-time job. And it was funny, like leaving the house and working outside the house, I was like, maybe I should put on a little makeup and not look like a 12-year-old hippie. I don't know. It was a weird experience of like, well, is this selling out for myself? Is this something that I'm just feeling insecure and I shouldn't do? But then let's be honest, I bought some bronzer from Physicians Formula, I believe it's called, because I like some natural, I like some not full of parabens and yada yada stuff on my face. So anyway, I bought a bronzing powder that just makes you look healthy. And I bought some liquid eyeliner because, that is who I am. I have worn liquid eyeliner since I was 15. So it really was this kind of empowering, like, I got my groove back. And again, if you don't need makeup, not at all. But, as a little girl, seeing Cleopatra, I rubbed candle soot on my eyes before I was allowed to wear makeup. So for whatever reason, liquid eyeliner is one of those little tidbits of multifaceted flair that is Charlene. And I'm glad she's back, even though I'm half blind and it's hard to put it on, like, not like it was 15,000 years ago. Okay. Dark Yet Sunny Studio. I totally relate to the makeup thing. Oh, yeah. I'm 45. Yeah, I already said that. Maybe I did. And Flight Risk says, oh, I know. Flight Risk lost their best friend, who is a squirrel. Don't you ever, please don't, like, animals can be better friends than humans. So if anyone says anything, psh. But, yes. She gained I'm sorry, I don't know if she is your pronoun. They gained an amazing guide and guardian angel. Yes, because animals, again, if you don't know me, animism is my jam. Animals are my, the natural world is my everything. So crystals, trees, animals, the cosmos, don't get me started. I feel that so deeply. Whereas sometimes with humans, they're so insulated within themselves because of that fear and insecurity. Anyway, yay. Oh, I love interaction. This is so fun. Thank you guys for talking to me, for playing. I would love to draw cards for you. Dark Yet Sunny Studio. Don't you want one? Jean-Baptiste Roulet, thank you for joining. I said I wasn't going to say hi to every single person, but anyway, I go with what comes. Flying by the seat of my pants. Okay, Dark Yet Sunny Studio. You'd love one. I thought so. You're welcome, Flight Risk. Dark Yet Sunny Studio. You got the animal. This is the archetype within yourself that will best serve you right now. Notice in my dim lighting that the eye is blue. Blue is symbolic of the divine, the throat chakra, your truth, communication, your voice. The throat chakra is the first of the etheric chakras, from the heart. Well, the heart is that sort of liminal in-betweenish space, but at the same time, like from your solar plexus, which is your soul, your sense of self. We're keeping it very simple. Your solar plexus, your abdomen, which is your sacral chakra, and then your root, which is your groin or the base of your spine. that's really that sort of earthly part of you, that physical body part. Your heart space, to me, this is my interpretation. Your heart space is that again, like I hear what they want me to say, which makes me sound nutty, but I don't care. And I'm like, really? But okay, so your heart chakra, and this is how I visualize it, and it is vulnerable, but it is that inner fairy castle where, and as much as I don't really wear pink, but for me, it is this like pink, rose gold, white, beautiful, airy, light, glowy space where I can go there, almost like in Superman, the Fortress of Solitude, but it's the Fortress of Fortitude. Loving, compassionate, unconditional love. That's where that takes me. And again, we're all different. That doesn't have to be what it looks like in your world. I mean, it isn't probably, if you asked me a while back what the heart chakra, anyway, it's not what I would have imagined for myself so much either. But at the same time, like if you let yourself relax into that inner child space of yourself without expectation or judgment, see where you go when you go to this spot. When I first started down this path, I, in meditation, kept going into caves. And I was just like, well, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. But it just felt really good. And I would go into the cave, I would build a fire, and I would just sit at the fire and let my guides come in. And I tried really hard to not be overly eager, which is really hard for me. And I just let it just be. I tried not to put pressure on it. And then we would, they would give me food. They would give me a drink, like a medicinal beverage. Like they would take care of me. And I just felt that love. And then I learned in my training and studying that the cave was a portal to the heart space. If you think about it, your root, your root chakra, that cave down low, if you're a female, that image makes sense more so, I suppose. But that womb space within us where we can love and support ourselves takes us to that heart space. So this animal, that was a lot of talking, sorry. This animal is telling you, like, spend time in your den, because this does kind of feel very, I don't know, wolfy, foxy. You tell me. I'm seeing that sort of animal. And okay, they're really pushing me to tell you this part. Like, in my mind, a lot of times in that space, we build the fire together. Then I put offerings into the fire, in my meditative mind. Or you could do this in a ceremony for yourself, because I do burn lots of things as well in a responsible manner. But, put those offerings, resin, love some resin, copal especially, all sorts of things are wonderful. Cedar, juniper. Personally, I grow garden sage, burn garden sage. I burn the hell out of some lavender. That is my personal go-to, because I grow it. I have the most of it. But I burn some of my other herbs as well. Or if I'm out in the woods and there's branches that have fallen, I might collect some to take home. But really connect in that space. That fire ceremony to me is also my guides feeding me feeding me from the inside out. And you can see I love all those little flowers. I wasn't even thinking about it until I rambled on. Then in my mind, we're dancing around the fire. We're celebrating, and that's where I have to keep reminding myself in life when things get ratcheted up and I'm gripped with human fear. I have to remind myself, where do you see yourself when you go in that space? What is it telling you? It's telling you, focus on the fact that you're getting there, that it's something to be celebrated. One of the early on things that they told me was, if you knew that success was guaranteed, how would you proceed? And I said back to myself, with confidence and enjoyment. Oh, but it's hard. It is hard. It is hard. So, anywho, you're welcome. I do believe, again, in the oneness. So these messages aren't just singularly for one person. Spend time feeding yourself. Spend time connecting with yourself. Spend time with your guides, guardians, and helpers. Your animal nation, your crystal nation, whatever you want to call this, and I have to go because I have to get ready for my day. But, and hello, Song of Ma. Personally, again, we're all multifaceted, multidimensional beings. There's those of us that have no yin, no resonance, perhaps, with the things that I just spoke of: rocks, crystals, trees, animals, flowers, the planets. That makes me sad for you, but no judgment. But there are many of us that really, really, really do. And that's where I double dog dare you to look into the things that bring you that joy, that comfort. They're a part of you. They're there, like, giving you that feeling for a reason. We are all beautiful conduit beings. We do all sorts of energy work unbeknownst to a lot of us because we're not self-aware or thinking of it in that way. But like music, art, putting your hand on someone's shoulder to comfort them is an energetic, loving exchange. Again, practice this. Even just putting your own hand on your shoulder feels good. So, best wishes, all the love. Super happy to gotten to play with you all. And have an amazing day, and love and gratitude to you as well, Flight Risk. Yes. So yeah, have a great rest of whatever time of the day it is to you, and I'll see you next time. Best wishes, all the love, be well holistically, over and out.